Several months back, I turned 50, and at this stage in my life, I'm beginning to witness, like a train wreck in slow motion, how the consequences for the mistakes that many of my peers have made years ago are now starting to catch up with them. The greatest tragedy, however, is that what many have or are about to discover is that there are no reset buttons for such things, no magic wands to wave and make things better, no time machines to go back and change things. Now, our Hollywood culture claims that we can live however we want with no consequences. No one has the right to tell me how to live. That somehow we can live carelessly, immorally, and irresponsibly, and everything will still turn out just fine. But that's a lie. You see, my friends, there are two basic stages in adulthood. The first begins when you leave home, become established in the workforce, get married, and raise a family. The second stage begins roughly around 50, when your own kids are now moving out to begin the first stage for themselves. And just as there are two basic stages of adulthood, there are also two basic kinds of consequences in life: the immediate and the delayed. The immediate are like sticking your finger in a flame, with the consequences being immediately felt. However, as painful as the experience may be, it's a quick lesson on why you shouldn't do that again, a teachable moment to avoid such mistakes in the future. In general, therefore, the immediate consequences aren't permanent. The delayed consequences, however, are more problematic and permanent. They're like freshly cut flowers placed in a vase with water. For many days, they can appear to have suffered no adverse effects from being cut. But of course, it's all illusionary. The very moment the flowers were cut, they died, and there's no bringing them back to life. And that's what makes the delayed consequences so deceptive and devastating. They're still far down the road when you make a bad lifestyle choice, well over the horizon, out of sight and out of mind. They can take years or even decades before manifesting. As a result, you can make a bad lifestyle choice in the first stage of adulthood, and because there's no immediate consequence, you think, everything's just fine, nothing bad happened. So that only encourages you to make even more bad life decisions, making things in the end even worse. And it's these delayed consequences that often start appearing in the second stage of adulthood. It could be from not having bothered to save properly for retirement, not having taken care of your health by eating properly and exercising, working so much that you neglected spending time with your kids, or delayed having children until it was too late, having left your spouse for so-called greener pastures, only to grow old alone in a desert. However, as bad as all that may be, there is still something far worse. Many in their first stage of adulthood put off religion and seeking God, thinking that, maybe they will later in their second stage. In the meantime, they're simply too busy or having too much fun. But generally, that's not how it works. According to the Bible, with spiritual matters, the door of the heart actually closes with age. And I think there's plenty of evidence to back that up. I mean, old age homes aren't exactly known as places where people are clamoring to know God. You see, the more you tune out God's voice, the deafer you become to it. The more you resist, the more callous your heart becomes towards God. And the consequence for doing that extends past the second stage of adulthood and beyond the grave.